Welcome back. On the deep dive, we dig into your source material to pull out the key insights for you. And today we're doing something a bit different, sort of an album quest.
That sounds intriguing. What's the source?
Yeah, it's this blog series from Green Strokes called Album Quest, the Search for the Best Album of All Time.
Ah, okay. Like a tournament for music.
Exactly. He set up this kind of World Cup of music. Albums go into groups of 4. He listens over and over, ranks them, top 2, move on.
Brutal.
Totally. And our mission for you today is to zero in on Group 23. Green Strokes actually said this one gave him mental struggles.
Oh, why is that?
Because apparently it was almost impossible to choose. He kind of wanted to just send them all through to the next round.
Wow. Okay. That definitely sets the scene. So who was in this group? Must have been strong contenders.
Absolutely. You had Virtual XCI by Iron Maiden, the debut Mike and the Mechanics album, Alanis Morissette's So-Called Chaos, and Tango in the Night by Fleetwood Mac.
Okay, yeah. That is a tough group. Very different vibes there, too. Iron Maiden and Mike and the Mechanics in the same group. That's a clash.
Right. It really highlights how ruthless this whole quest has to be. You're forced into these really difficult comparisons.
So, given the mental struggles, where did Green Strokes even start? How did the ranking shake out? Let's begin at the bottom, maybe. Who came in fourth?
Okay, yeah. So fourth place went to Alanis Morissette's So-Called Chaos.
Interesting. Why fourth? It's got some great tracks.
It does. He mentioned it started really strong, like the first 4 songs were excellent, but then apparently it dipped a bit in the middle. Songs like Knees of My Bees and the title track So-Called Chaos were seen as weaker points.
Ah, the mid-album slump.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Though he did say it was redeemed with the exquisite Not All Me towards the end.
Right. But in this kind of, high-pressure listening format, that inconsistency probably hurts.
That's what it seems like. If you're listening repeatedly, looking for the best, even a couple of dips can make the difference. Consistency is, well, key.
Makes sense. Okay, so who was third?
Third place was Iron Maiden's Virtual EWILE.
Maiden in third. Okay, tell me about that. Again, a legendary band.
Yeah, and he acknowledged the guitar playing is, flawless. And tracks like Futureal and The Klansman, as good as anything they've ever done, according to him.
There's always a but in these rankings.
Well, the but was that some tracks, specifically The Angel and the Gambler and Don't Look to the Eyes of a Stranger, felt a bit too long and repetitive.
Right. Maiden can definitely go epic, which usually works for them.
For sure. But maybe in this specific album quest context where you're comparing intensely against other albums, that length, if it doesn't feel totally earned moment to moment, can become a weakness.
Yeah, I can see that, especially against, say, shorter, punchier songs. Okay, so that leaves 2, Mike and the Mechanics and Fleetwood Mac. Who got second?
This is where it gets really interesting, I think. Second place went to Mike and the Mechanics' debut album.
Over Iron Maiden. Wow, how did he justify that?
He described the album as really laid back and classy. He focused on the crafted melodies and the vocals, Paul Carrack and Paul Young.
Smooth as stuff.
Yeah. And his conclusion was basically that songs like Silent Running, All I Need Is a Miracle, Call to Arms, they were just, for him, superior to Maiden's style in this context.
So it boiled down to a preference for that polished melodic rock over the synth-laden melodic metal, as he put it.
Seems like it. It really shows how subjective this whole thing is, right?
Yeah.
He found the consistency and the craft of Mike and the Mechanics more compelling for this quest.
It's like comparing apples and, very loud oranges. Both good, but depends what you're looking for.
Exactly. Which brings us to number 1. No huge surprise, maybe, after that build-up.
Let me guess. Fleetwood Mac?
Nailed it. Tango in the Night.
A classic. What was his take?
He found it musically excellent throughout, just consistently strong. He did mention it felt maybe slightly overproduced.
Which was common in the 80s, yeah. Lots of synths.
Right. More synths than maybe earlier Fleetwood Mac. But he raved about Lindsey Buckingham's guitar playing, called it virtuoso guitar picking.
Oh, yeah. Buckingham's style is unique. That finger picking, the layering.
He specifically pointed out the licks on Family Man and the solo on Isn't It Midnight?
Yeah, those are standouts. So the production maybe wasn't ideal for him, but the core songwriting and musicianship just shone through.
That's the impression that the quality just transcended any quibbles about the 80s sound. Plus, it was the last album with that classic lineup fully intact.
Yeah.
Maybe that adds a little something.
Could be. And he also, kind of funny, wondered who Sarah is from the song.
Yeah, it seems even in a rigorous album quest, some mysteries just remain.
Always.
So that wraps up Group 23. Fleetwood Mac's Tango in the Night takes the top spot, Mike and the Mechanics second. Both move on in Greenstrax's quest.
You know, what's really fascinating here is how this whole exercise, this attempt to find the best, really just highlights how personal and subjective ranking music is. His mental struggles, wanting to send them all through, that says it all. Maybe the real value isn't just in the winner, but in appreciating all the albums that make the choice so hard.
That's a great point. It's not a failure of the quest that it's difficult. It's proof of the richness of the music itself.
Exactly.
And it makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How do you, listening now, define the best when you've got albums that are brilliant but in totally different ways?
Yeah. Is it some objective list of criteria? Or just that gut feeling what stands up to your repeated plays?
Something to chew on for your own personal album quest, maybe.